Are we about to get a liquidity injection? Or is it going to be some liquid diarrhea? Welcome you back, baby dolls. Bitcoin hitting $98,000. Fee levels cracking. Where are we going to go next? Of course, it's always 50-50. I've got some Raoul Pal commentary. We have the US government shutdown. It officially ended. That's why everyone's feeling the pain consistently, the turmoil, the agony. Horrifying stuff we've been waiting for and sitting through. But, you know, what's most concerning as well, actually, to throw onto that is every seemingly good piece of news is just dumped all the time. But that's why, you know, friends, that the story's always Fugazi anyway. Narrative is Fugazi. It doesn't mean anything. It's all about the price action. If there are big sellers, that's it. They absorb stuff. Okay? I want to show you some commentary from Raoul Pal. The US government reopens. What happens next? Now, here's the thing. Markets, they do price in the future. Okay? It's like you knew the government was going to reopen again. There's something about this L word, liquidity, or it could be liquid diarrhea, that we got to understand, okay? You can't price in money you don't have. Okay? You can't price in money you don't have. So the market can't price in liquidity injection stuff where it doesn't have the liquidity in the first place. It doesn't have the money. It doesn't have the currency units. It's like if the government says, hey, we're going to do QE, we're going to insert $1 trillion into the economy of currency. The market cannot price $1 trillion of QE in like a second. It tells everybody it can't actually do it. It needs the currency units. Okay? Another example. You and I, we go for dinner. We go to Porky's. The girls are dancing. We don't care. We're just hungry. We're not looking at the girls. We're looking at the steak. But imagine I told you, hey, we just ordered the steak and you're like really hungry and so am I. You can't price in eating the steak. You're like, yeah, I know I'm going to get the steak, but man, I still need to eat. You get it? It's the same thing. And then once we finally eat in the steak, we're now full. That's like liquidity injection. We keep our heads down, looking at the carpet. We follow the security guard out and walk out. We're not interested in the girls. We're just there for the steak. Expect a few days for the TGA. So friends, the gay account, some people call it the Treasury General account. I call it the gay account for a couple of reasons. Its spending is going to begin to significantly add to liquidity and it should persist for several months. But you know, oh God bless you, but I mean, like, isn't that just the perfect story to tell us as well? Don't worry, it's all going to go great and you're going to get the perfect upthrust. Yeah, bro, man, we've always been speaking about this upthrust. You know, it's hurting, dude. It's hurting. Stop thrusting, bro, please. You're thrusting us. It's a family-friendly cycle. Well, that's been desecrated. It's a family-friendly nothing, actually. Nothing about this crypto cycle has been family-friendly at all. Obviously, quantitative tightening ends in December and the balance sheet will crawl higher. Something you got to understand, friends, as well. This is, I can't stress this to you. And actually, I'm going to have to play some Pumpy G music before the racism levels go up here. I don't like to nitpick the stuff, all right? I don't like to do that, right? I'm more of a big picture dude, okay, in a lot of aspects. But we have to celebrate this achievement, okay? What is this? All right. That is a Green Others BTC monthly candle. But you got to think about it, okay? This is not just any ordinary monthly candle of green. Because look at these, friends. We've had green ones before, right? Like we've had the Trump fake out one and we just had 7 red in a row, which is a nightmare. With this one's, friend, this is very important. Because we've had Floptober and Flopvember. We've had a Flopvember, okay? It's floppy and it's slimy and it's smelly in here. It's floppy everywhere. Floppy and sloppy. Yet somehow altcoins are stronger than Bitcoin. And not just any altcoin. These are the absolute, the dirtiest, stinkiest, sexiest of them all. The outside top 10 altcoins. Others. That's what we call them, others. Who are the others? Okay? Outside top 10. It's the belly of the curve, the real risk part, all right? So that's why this is the others BTC ratio. I can't stress this enough, okay? It has to be celebrated, okay? The contrarian take is that we've been in a bear market for all of 2025, and now we are ending it. But of course, I don't control the future or know anything. Others BTC has printed a green monthly candle, despite November being horrible for Bitcoin and all USD prices. This might be a key to friendship. So, you know, what I'm basically outlining to you is we've had Flopvember, we had maximum fear. There's a lot of scary stuff. It's kind of funny. It's like, wait, where's the scary stuff? The scary stuff's the price action, because it's like stock market and everything. Nothing could just send crypto higher. It's because there's just too much supply of everybody just dumping their Bitcoin. Everybody, as in these big giant OG whales, whatever they are. Okay, there's always a story. Who cares? Okay, just the price action can't go up for whatever reason yet. All right. So even in the face of all of that, others BTC is able to stay green. It's significant. It's if you're looking at price action, it's showing you, whoa, you are able to stay strong while everything else is going to poop. Very interesting. It could imply the sellers are exhausted, finally. Okay? Like they're finally exhausted. But yeah, I don't want to throw out the whole David Goggins meme. The sellers are exhausted. The sellers is literally running 18 marathons there. So dare I say that is a very, very key. That's not random. Okay? That's pretty much what I wanted to tell you. It's not random, all right? So this is what I guess the theory is, because friends, there's been a massive disconnect and a breaking of the global liquidity fractal stuff on the short-term time frames. This is Bitcoin. Gold's gone up. It's having now its little retrace of euphoria. And then obviously the green line is the global M2 liquidity. So Bitcoin's been lagging. All right, and that's obviously been, everybody's been concerned. Hey, 4-year cycle, what's going on? So look, man, it could be, man, like, you know, those big OG whales, they're used to selling in every 4 years. So it's in their, basically in their DNA to cheat now. And they are. And they're fighting the price action. So that's why the market's right. Who's leading here? That's why you got to think. Who's leading? Is Bitcoin leading? That's why everyone's scared. Everyone thinks Bitcoin's sniffing out. That's what, like Willy Woo. Some say Willy Poo now because it's such a bear. Because bears are smelly and they poop in the woods. So Willy Poo, he's saying, oh, Bitcoin sniffs out the liquidity. The fact that Bitcoin's weak means we're all going into a bear market. Okay? It could be that. But maybe it's not that. Maybe Bitcoin's not the one leading. Because you have gold went up. Stocks went up. Everything in the freaking world went up. Every single asset class but crypto. Right? So, you know, that's why there's no, like, are we the cheap one? Or is everything else expensive and we've been leading it? We'll see. We will see the US dollar begin to weaken again. Okay, this is another big fractal that, say, Blockchain Backer has been using. This is a US dollar Reduni. This is the Dixie, old Dicky boy. Many people, you know, they're scared of, I guess, this doing a big reversal up and squeezing the crap of everyone. Friends, this is the weird part. You know, the higher the dollar goes, it's not weird. Like, the higher the dollar goes, everybody gets squeezed and they just cut rates faster and they start printing faster. So, you know, but whatever. The next key step is to avoid a year-end funding squeeze. Expect several temporary measures to add liquidity. Term funding and SRF operations are most likely. I don't know what SRF is. Maybe it is the soy refuel of sorts. And he says that will eventually morph into the desperately needed changes to the SLR to allow banks to absorb more issuance and re-lever their balance sheets. This is a big liquidity bazooka, he says. It's a big liquidity bazooka, all right? But, you know, we got to say it. It feels like a bit more of the whole boy who cried wolf type of stuff going on again. We're like waiting and waiting. And Mr. Raoul Powell continues as well. This is a big liquidity bazooka, expecting Q1. The SLR should lower rates as banks buy more bonds. Expect the Clarity Act for crypto to begin to get finalized. there will also be stimulus payments and the big, beautiful bill fiscal goosing. It's probably because as well, friends, you know, people elected Trump so the middle guy can, like, you know, get ahead. But obviously they're not. They're spinning their wheels. So, you know, people, they're masses, they're fickle. They're like, hey, man, we elected you to kind of like get better. But we're just going to go with this like socialist dude. That's just what happens, man. It's just a seesaw. There might be a resurgence. That's what we're kind of hoping. There's some sort of big spending that they're waiting to try get those midterms, so they can gain some sort of dominance again. The Republicans, I guess, they're scared of a big Democrat rebound. But there's always something. There's always like, oh, they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. Doesn't matter, dude. Like, at no point in history has any politician come out and said, oh man, I want to lose. I want the stocks to go down. I want the economy to go down. Guess what? It happens anyway. So that's not enough. But here's another thing as well. Okay, we got to take the other side. Okay, we got a anti-devil, the devil's advocate. You can take the bullish side of that and be like, okay, never in the history of mankind has a cohort of people and market participants in an economy said, you know what's a good idea? Let's run this bull market up and then let me buy into super risky speculative stuff way beyond your wildest imagination with the highest valuations. And I'm not going to be the top. Okay? But I'm going to buy the top. Technically, it's a top, but I'm not the top. You see, defense, this is what always plays out, though. People come out and they say, never touching it. Don't care. Don't like it. I don't want to speculate. I'm not speculating at all. You have no fundamentals. You have no valuations. You know? And then what happens? The cycle plays out all over again. Obviously, we're dealing with emotions every single time. That's why, friends, when people say, oh, your thing has no value, come to my coin, come to my asset. They know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. They're assuming humans are never going to have their emotional cycles ever again. Dude, by the way, we're always going to have them, okay? By the way, that's how they control us. Who's they? Watch my UFO videos, okay? We don't know who they are. It could be thousands of things. But yes, they all control us through the fear. All right? This economic stuff is a byproduct of it. China will continue balance sheet expansion. Europe will add fiscal stimulus or extra spending. This is the liquidity flood. The spice must flow. He also says in there, the US debt must be rolled. There's $10 trillion of debt. They got to get rolled. And the government wants to superheat the economy into the midterms. So this is, you know, some bullish stuff. Carlo, time for another drinks roll. Red wine for a red day. And a friendly reminder of what's coming. Don't truck this up. He goes, it's next week. Hopefully we don't get another shutdown. Oh gosh. Here we have Richard Hart, money printer go brr. The spice must flow. Huh. Very interesting. And Mr. Jebediah Dean. Great Dune reference. I don't think I've watched Dune. But yeah. So friends, you've basically seen I've described for you here with Roll Pound. We've shown you the liquidity, and we're hoping it's not liquid diarrhea. We're hoping it's actual liquidity. Please just check. Just check. Just do a bit of a taste test. Just do a bit of a taste test. Okay? I know it's brown. Could be chocolate water. Could be chocolate water. Just saying. Who wants to be the first to taste? Who wants to be the first to taste test of chocolate water? All right, it's not chocolate water. It could be something else, you know. But the liquidity onflows. Remember, friends, that's why I gave you that example. You and me, we're at Porky's. You can't you can't price in the dinner, dude. You still need your calories. Yeah, that's the same thing when it comes to this. And crypto is very price sensitive to this liquidity stuff out here. All right, so we move from here. Hopefully, by the time as we progress, we got more friendship. Price action's obviously moving. So by the time you navigate everyone's feelings and the fear and greed and all this other stuff, probably the next move is happening anyway. Okay, so like even if you think it's all over, you know, we still, there is this one point, I guess, friends, remember my line in the sand that we need. I want to see Bitcoin at 118. And if you draw a Fibonacci, friends, as well, Bitcoin at 118 up here, it will be basically above this 61.8% retrace.
Okay, literally at 118, it'll be above the previous month, that 2 months low, that 2 months high, whatever it was, and it'll be up in this range. So anything up here, yeah, it could be the poopy, the actual liquid diarrhea zone. Even blockchain backer has, hey, you could get like this one little thing and then it's all over. All right, so fingers crossed. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.